Alright, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Got my coffee, got my phone. It is time for another weekly Will I Buy It, where I sit down and chit chat with you guys about new makeup releases that have come out recently. But yeah, it's time to sit down and chit chat with you guys again. I always look forward to these, and I always look forward to see what new makeup we get to talk about. Typically I feel like I have a little something to say in the intro, but I don't think I really do this time. I did want to kind of cycle back, actually, now that I think about it. I did want to cycle back. Remember I did that experiment, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about asking you guys to hit the like button because I was wanting to test the theory to see what would happen. So I figured I'd report back to you guys that my experiment kind of worked. Like, I did get more likes on that video. However, like, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like it didn't make that big of a difference. So I don't know. Like I said, it was just a little experiment. I just wanted to try, and I figured I would come back around to it and let you guys know how that worked out. But moving on from there, let's go ahead and just jump right into talking about this week's new makeup releases. There's one or two that I'm super excited to share with you guys about, but overall, it's been a week for new makeup releases, but let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so first up, let's go ahead and just dive right into some big news that I just found out. This is from Danessa Myricks, and she is launching a palette, which I feel like is new for her. I've been mildly interested in Danessa Myricks recently. I've heard great things about her products, but nothing she's done has ever stood out to me. So I think this is her very first palette that she is releasing. It's called the Lightworks Volume 3. Oh wait, Volume 3. Maybe that means I don't know. I'm not really up on her brand, obviously. But anyway, first palette that I've noticed from her that caught my eye. This is an all-over-face, multi-use palette curated with 14 out-of-this-world galactic shades in multiple mesmerizing finishes. So I think they're all like shimmery shadows. I don't think any are mattes from the sound of it. It's kind of like eye, face, whatever you want it. Interesting. I thought some of those were mattes the first time I looked at it. I guess I should say I just assumed they were. But I see some multi-chromes in there, lots of shimmery shadows. They look beautiful. The highlighters all look beautiful. However, I'm not going to be getting it because along with it not having any mattes, what was the price? $125. Yeah, you guys know me when it comes to palettes that are over $100. Ugh. I've done it twice, I think. Kind of regret both times, so I think this is pretty. Definitely, I like the aspect of being a multi-use for face or eyes, though, I mean, any eyeshadow palette you can use on your face. Anyway, I like the palette for what it is, but not enough to like ever purchase it. I'm not that intrigued in it, so it's going to be a super easy pass for me, but it does look really pretty, and I definitely wanted to share, like, look how beautiful. Stunning. So pretty. And I'm sure it's going to be like a fun palette to use, but I will just enjoy watching other people use it because it's just a little too pricey. And you guys know me, I like the eyeshadow palettes to create stuff on my eyes. I'm not so much into being that creative with my face, so overall it's an easy pass. Okay, quickly, this is a little teaser. It's Bel Cosmetics. They just teased their next launch, which is Dawn of Fall, so I'm assuming it's coming out soon and it's going to be fall themed. I am wanting to try It's Bel Cosmetics. I feel like all of my friends here on YouTube rave about them and talk about how gorgeous their palettes are. The reason I haven't bought them yet is because the previous palettes they've launched have all been all shimmer palettes. So I'm really crossing my fingers that they have some mattes in here and that's a super like fall colorful palette. Because if it is those, I'm definitely buying it. But we only have a sneak peek for now, so I just want to mention it real quick. It is coming and I've got my eyes on it. I will be waiting to see what this is. Makeup Revolution launched another Friends collection, but this is for their Thanksgiving Friendsgiving. I never watch Friends, so I don't know anything about the series, but I do remember them having Friendsgiving because I don't even know, but I remember hearing Friendsgiving. Anyway, they came out with a collection around that. And I'm sorry, I feel like even if I was a Friends fan, like, would I want a palette that looked like a turkey? Or even a turkey with glasses? It's got to be an inside joke, I'm sure it is, but still, just like the packaging is so bulky and not really like a cute bulky. It's just kind of like a turkey. I don't know. It's an easy pass for me. Even zooming up on the color stories, I don't like the packaging enough to care what the color stories are, but those are an easy pass. This one over here looks colorful, but also, I don't know, it just kind of looks not a whole lot of meaning. It's just a bunch of colors and whatnot. I will say the mirror, that is cute. If you were a Friends, fan or whatnot, that is cute to be a coffee cup central perk with the mirror. That's kind of cute, but it's all an easy pass for me. What are these? The coffee cups. Pumpkin spice body scrub. Oh, that's kind of cute. I like a body scrub. Not that I'm at all interested in Friends, like I said, but it's like in a coffee cup. That's kind of cute. But regardless, it's all an easy pass. I got stuck on the turkey and was just like, why? No, thank you. Okay, big news real quick I want to share with you guys that DJ's Unique Boutique is going to be bringing back the Reasons palette for this holiday season. And if you missed it, I did a video. I believe I did a video. I reviewed it last year. I can't remember if I did a 3 looks video. I think I was planning to, but because it was limited edition, I didn't put the video up. I just recorded it and then didn't do anything with the footage. But anyway, she's bringing the palette back, which, let me grab it for you. It's up here on display on my bookshelf back there. This is what the palette looks like. It was such a fun palette, absolutely gorgeous. I had a fantastic time with it. I loved all the colors. It created such beautiful looks, very nice and bright and intense as well. I really did enjoy this palette. So if you missed it last year, if you were at all interested, it is going to be coming back. I think it is already back actually. Friday, yeah, so it's coming out on Saturday. It is back. It is $35. I don't remember it being $35. I thought it was under 30. I just don't remember the price, I guess. I don't remember correctly, obviously. But anyway, it's going to be $35 and it's available. Hopefully they will keep it around for a while. They've redesigned the outer cover because it is different and improved our label on the inside. So that's cool. I actually kind of really like this label or the cover, honestly. I love how kind of rough and I don't know, there's just something about it that I like, how all the colors stand out, whereas this one, as you guys can see, it's more of a like a seamless blend, but regardless, it is pretty. I'm not saying that the new one's ugly, but I do really enjoy my version a lot, and I really like that palette, so I was kind of tempted to pull it back out and do a look with it to kind of celebrate and let you guys know my thoughts on it again after it's been a year. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on that, because like I said, I think I was planning to do a 3 looks because I love this palette so much, but then it was out of stock and she wasn't keeping it around. It was limited edition, so I just figured not to. So if you want to see a video of me using this, leave it down below in the comments, and if I get enough requests, I will do that video. This is a new brand to me, QC Queen Cosmetics. It caught my eye because the color story. Like, it's a very grungy type of color story, but there's those pops of really intense bright colors like this orange or red. It's got a yellow in there and whatnot, or not even yellow, it's like a mustard, like a really bright mustard, but then it does have a neon green down there. This, I've never heard of the brand before, but this is the Military Queens eyeshadow palette. Features 18 shade mixed with mattes and shimmers. The palette is in honor of Salute to Service. Percentages of sales will be donated to the Wounded Warrior Project. I think that's really cool. I don't know, something about this palette really captures my attention, and the fact that it is for, it's called the Military Queens palette, and portions of it will go to Wounded Warrior Project. I really like that about it, and like I said, I like the color story as well. I love the grungy and more like earthy tones mixed with those they look so neon, that like red and the green and even the yellow over there, Fire in the Hole. Sniper looks like so pretty, Kevlar, oh, looks really, and then they got the Black Ops in there. They do have that more brownie shimmer desert over there, but they also have, let's see, what kind of shimmers do they have? Let me really take an up close look. They got like a more pinky, bronze, is that really it? Then the dark one, Night Vision. They don't have a whole lot of bright shimmers, which I tend to like bright shimmers. Okay, so that is a bit of a negative for me personally. I like bright shimmers, but still the mattes are really, really intriguing. So, never heard of this brand before. I just caught it scrolling. The color story grabbed me, and then the whole thing with it being, a salute to service, I thought was really, really awesome, and I'm definitely intrigued. Let me know your thoughts. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going back and forth and very, very tempted. So let me know. Let me know if you guys like to see my thoughts on this brand. I'm very, very intrigued. So let me know your thoughts. Okay, Colourpop released the collab that no one saw coming and no one asked for, but it is the, what is it even called? I don't even know. What's this collection called? The Colourpop and NBA collabed for these 6 palettes. I don't know anything about the NBA. Some of these are familiar to me, like Miami Heat. The Lakers, that's familiar. What else is there? Not much. Lakers and Miami Heat, I remember. Everything else was like, I don't know. I don't know what you are. But anyway, a bunch of palettes, ignoring the theme of it because it just totally misses me because I'm not into sports at all, really. Talking about the color story. They're all a miss, even the green one, honestly, personally. Let me go to the green one. This Chicago Bulls is like red. I don't know. I don't find that very inspiring. Then the blue yellow, like I like the packaging, how blue it is, but then when you look inside, it's like a neutral palette with 1 blue row. Then the, Mavericks. Oh, I know the Mavericks too. That's the shark, whatever. He owns a Mavericks or something. The Shark Tank. Anyway, Mavericks, it's just a cool tone, kind of blue, gray. Maybe that's purpley in there. It's a pass. Miami Heat, I don't know, neutral warm tone palette. I do like that shimmer shadow up there. Magic City, I think it is. That's pretty. And then the green palette, I feel like the green palette looks so close to the Tinkerbell palette, and I wasn't really a big fan of the Tinkerbell color story. It's a pass. And Lakers, I love yellow and purple together, so that's the only reason I'm like, oh, like a strictly yellow-purple palette color story theme. I like it. This is the one I'm actually, like, I do like it. There's a little bit more neutral in here than I would prefer, but I love the mix of yellow and purple, so I like it. And like I said, I feel like not many brands, or I can't think of any palettes, or any palettes off the top of my head, that's a strictly yellow and purple color story, so good on them for doing something original, but it's still a pass for me. I don't know. I'm just not into sports. I'm not into the color stories enough, even though I appreciate it. I'll just create a yellow and purple eye look the next time I have a palette that has yellow and purple in it, and I'll be good to go. So, another Colourpop release, another easy pass for me. Okay, so this was the big launch of the week that I was super excited for. Game Beauty launched a new Harbinger eyeshadow palette. Hairbinger? I'm sorry, I think it's Harbinger. Anyway, 10 shades, mattes, and shimmers, available October 15th. And it's like a really interesting color story. I always appreciate that with Game Beauty. They don't do anything like too boring. Even their neutral palette I thought was very interesting. It's like a purple grunge with the blue and the orange in there too, but it's very heavy on the like mauve purple, but not really too mauve. It's got purple. I don't know. It's a very pretty color story. I do like it. Even though I'm not interested personally in it enough to buy it, I think it's a really cool color story, and I think it's something unique, at least from what I've seen. And trying to think over palettes that look like this, it's more like a cool tone feel to it, but it has that orange in there too. Also the palette, their palette packaging always like takes my breath away. I think it's always so beautiful, so captivating, and it's just like when you look at it, you're just kind of like sucked into the scene and just taking the whole scene in. I love their palette packaging, but yeah, while I do like the palette, I think it's really pretty. Let me go to a bigger picture. I don't plan to purchase it. Here it is swatched out. I think it's really pretty. Makes me think of something that Melt would have done or something like that. The vibes of this color story gives me Melt vibes, but overall, very, very pretty. Don't plan to pick it up, but I do think they did a great job with giving a unique and fun color story. So Morphe brushes announced their Holiday 2021 collection. I don't even see the whole palette, and I'm just like, pass, because it looks like every other palette they've ever done. 35X, the big Primpin? Big Primpin. I don't know. All their palettes look so alike. It's just like, what's the point? This little one I think is actually interesting. If it's as reddish as it looks to be in the shadows there, that's like 10 times more interesting than the big palette. I wish they would just drop the big palettes, because they're just kind of like, I don't know, does anyone buy those big palettes with neutral shadows? I feel like everyone already has 50 million of them from Morphe, so why do they keep launching them? I wish they would stick to the smaller ones. Anyway, moving on from that, yeah, this is all an easy pass. They got a couple other things. A jumbo of the setting mist. That's cool. I want to try the setting mist just because I want that kind of aerosol setting spray, feel, or just to give it a try, give that product a try. So one of these days, I'm going to try an aerosol setting spray thing, but still haven't yet. Everything else, I don't know. I'm not even interested enough to like figure out what they all are and prices and whatnot, just because it's all easy pass. So this is another new brand to be Martine Cosmetics. This 669 collection from Martine Cosmetics is available now. 18 shades, $63.58. It's like it's very interesting, like not even talk about the color story, but I feel like we've seen a lot of palettes that are like designed like a little briefcase or whatever. I think that's interesting. I'm not really into it because it's so bulky. Kaleidos did it as well, even though I will say Kaleidos did it with like the Club Nebula and stuff. It doesn't have a latch, but it's that kind of bulky where the palette is like sitting up from it. I'm not really into it though. Like I said, the Club Nebula has it, and now that I own it, it's not as bulky as I envisioned, but still, I just, give me a simple palette. I don't know, I'm a simple gal when it comes to that. Anyway, moving on to the color story, I think they did a really neat job. Like, this is a cool color story looking behind it. It's got like the kind of army olive tones in there, but then it has like the blues, the more mauves, very cool tone across the board, with a pop of brighter blue, a peach, and some of them look like, at least they're giving the impression with the marketing, that they're going to be like multi-chrome-y, like that, yeah. I feel like maybe not multi-chrome, but at least duochrome. They look really pretty, and like this is very grunge in my opinion. I think it's super duper grunge. I don't have plans to pick it up at all. I feel like I'm not into this deep and dark, like for the whole palette. And not to say that I don't like dark, but when the whole palette is super dark, I get a little bit intimidated. I like lightness in my looks, especially when it comes to shimmers. I like those to be really light and bright. But anyway, all that aside, I do think they did a great job with the color story, and I did want to give it a little shout out here because I do like how fun, unique, and different the color story is. I thought that was really cool. Okay, so Drizzle Cosmetics is launching their Gnome Chrome Halloween eyeshadow palette on the 17th for $42.95. This is the brand that did the pickle palette that I almost bought. Man, this is also a really cute color story. I don't have plans to pick it up. I'm not into the Halloween theme, so hence why I'm, not buying a lot of these. But color story wise, this is really cute. I do think that I think they have a lot of, I can't tell for sure. It looks like they have a lot of shimmers in here and not a whole lot of mattes just looking at it. But that could just be me and the way I'm looking at this or the way this picture is, because it's hard to tell how many mattes and how many shimmers, and I don't think they say it here now. So it's hard for me to see exactly how many there are. But color story wise, I like the green with the purple, that pop of orange. You got the, black gray color in there, and also the red, orange, and a blue green over there. I think that's a fun color story, depending on how many are matte and shimmer. If there were more mattes than shimmers, I could be really down with this, especially if the lighter tones were shimmers. Like, that would create some really fun fall Halloween looks. And I mean, especially, oh, look at this, candy corn, sorry. Candy corny, oh no, candy corny. That's cute. Anyway, Candy Corny, that shade looks so pretty, but I am going to be passing on it, but I did want to share it with you guys, and I can appreciate a pretty color story. I think it's really neat. Okay, so this was announced this week as well, Norvina Cosmetics. Now, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, ABH launched something new, but this says, no, this is Norvina Cosmetics. You can click over Norvina Cosmetics. Totally surprised, honestly. I was like, wait, what? What? I don't know. I'm very confused when it comes to ABH these days. Norvina, I don't know if this is going to be aligned with ABH. I'm very confused. Let me know if you know more information. Is this like she's just starting a new brand, or is ABH turning into Norvina and ABH won't be any longer? Whatever the case is, she's coming out with these pencils, chrome sticks, makeup pencils, 16 shades, matte proof, smudge proof, waterproof. I like all the colors, but I feel like, I don't know, every single brand has these days, especially I feel like drugstores has had these for so very long. That's typically where I get my really bright colors from when it comes to stuff I want my waterline. So there's no interest for me to pay the higher price. I don't know how much these will be. I wonder if it's going to be any cheaper than the typical ABH. I don't know. I'll be curious to see what everyone else thinks, but for me personally, it's an easy pass, and I'm just kind of confused at the whole ABH Norvina thing. Who knows what they're doing these days? Okay, so by Melolops Beauty, or by Melolops, I think it's just called, they released their Millionaire collection, and at first I thought they were just like loose pigments and lashes and stuff, but there's an actual palette. See it down here? So let's go look at the palette, because you guys know, there's a palette. I'm 10 times more interested in the collection. But anyway, here's the palette swatched out. Again, a neat color story. I am really appreciating brands that can like think more like neutral, because I feel like this is very, not neutral palette, but it has a neutral vibes to it to keep it more neutral leaning if you wanted it to, but then it has pops of interest. You know, to keep things interesting and different, and not like Morphe, who can never launch anything but the same palette rearranged 50 million times. You know how it goes. So I appreciate that about this palette. Okay, got interrupted by when the kiddos waking up, but I am back. I forgot where I was, but we're just going to continue on with talk about the palette. I think it's a pretty color story. I like that the shimmers look like the more of the lighter, brighter tones are the shimmers, and the deeper, darker tones or more colorful tones are the mattes, and overall, I think this is a pretty palette. Honestly, partly tempted to get it, but I don't think I'm going to get it just because I missed the launch. I don't know, I'm very new to the brand. I have a ton that I have going on, so I think I'm going to let it pass, but I do like how beautiful it looks. There's 7 mattes, 8 metallics, $36. I'm very intrigued. I forget what the cover looks like. Do they show the cover? There's a lot, there's a lot else in the collection, as you guys can see as I scroll, but obviously the palette was the only thing that really caught my attention. I don't think they showed the palette or like the cover of it, but overall, really pretty, definitely caught my attention, definitely tempted me, but I think we're gonna let it pass. I could create some really pretty looks with that, but I don't need it, so I'm gonna let it pass. Okay, Natasha Denona had a few things I saw. This is the new Baby Glam eyeshadow palette. It's like a very cool tone, super duper like pale looking palette. Honestly, like those colors look so, maybe it's just my perception of it with the lighting in the video as well, but they look very light. Like the 2 mattes, I'm like, how much would that show up on my skin? And I feel like I'm pretty pale, but anyway, it's launching October 12th. Obviously, it's a new Baby Glam eyeshadow palette. Exclusive ornament, limited edition, $19. I think it's cute. The shimmer in there, the silver shimmer, I think looks really pretty, but overall, it's an easy pass. Scrolling down, I think, yeah, there was one other thing I want to talk about. This is the new mini Metropolis eyeshadow palette. I feel like the Metropolis palette is such a beautiful palette, and then seeing this mini, I think it's pretty, but I don't know, a far cry from like the capturing the gorgeousness that is the Metropolis palette. There's like, I don't know, something about it just doesn't sell me on this. And it's got like the one green. There's no like olive tones, which I feel like there was a lot in the Metropolis palette. So I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a pass for me. It's $25 though. So I wouldn't mind trying out, you know, Natasha Denona with her smaller ones, because I tried the bigger one. It's just too expensive for me, but this is more so in my price range. But so if the color story was right, I wouldn't mind picking it up. But as it is, the color story just doesn't do it for me. So it's an easy pass as well. Oh yes, almost forgot. I feel like it was the weekend. I think it was last Saturday that this launched, but this is the new Lethal collection. This is their 89 Berlin collection. It's got an eyeshadow palette, liners or gel pots, and then also looks like toppers. like, yeah, liquid toppers. Those look really pretty. I think that's what they are. Brand new Side FX gel liners, 2 glitch liquid shadows. Yeah, really pretty. Here's the palette swatched out. Looks like there's some multi-chrome, maybe just one. Maybe 2, I'm not sure. Definitely one of them in there. I think it's really beautiful. I think the color story is very pretty. I think it's very unique. Again, I appreciate when a palette, especially in 2021 when there are so many palettes that have launched, there are so many different types of color stories. I think it's something to say when a brand can launch a color story that I go, you know what, I haven't really seen something like that. That's really cool. So I think this is really neat. I love the mix of the yellows and the reds, but it's got the blue and the purple in there as well with the silver white up there. Also has a gray in it. It's got a black in it, which I always like for the outer corner. Has multi-chromes in it. I think it's pretty. I didn't pick it up. I don't have plans to pick it up. I feel like Lethal gets a little pricey for me when it comes to their shipping, but I do think this is really pretty. I know a lot of my friends are on their PR list, so I know I'm going to be seeing the gorgeous looks that they create with it. So I'll just be living vicariously through them when it comes to this palette, because I do think it's really pretty, but I am going to go ahead and pass on it. Let me know if you guys picked it up. I'd love to know if you guys are getting it. I do think I also read that the pans, because this is like an actual palette, it's not like their magnetic palettes, I think the pans are smaller. And I don't know if you're able to take them out. I'm not sure about that. Let me know if you know if you can remove them or if they're glued in. I'd be curious to know that. Let's see, Viseart also revealed, this is their, let's see, 2 different eyeshadow palettes. Obviously, I have zero interest in this one, but this one's actually really pretty. It makes me think like beachy, summery vibes. So it's a little weird to be coming out in the fall, going into winter, but regardless, I do think it's really pretty. It's an easy pass for me because all the color in here comes from the shimmers, which you guys know I like to have color with the mattes. Colorful shimmers, yes, I think they're very pretty. I enjoy having them, but I also need some colorful mattes, and the mattes in here look to be all brown or that red, honestly. That's about it from what I can see. Gorgeous shimmers. I love the array, the colorful array with the shimmers. I think they're very pretty. They look very promising, but the mattes, there's 1, 2, 3. I think there's only 4 mattes in the whole palette. No, not enough for me. I need more mattes. So it's an easy pass. I haven't purchased from Viseart in forever. How much? $44. So not terrible. I feel like Viseart was always like $80 and really like cheap packaging. And now they're like fancy palette, the packaging is fancy and cheaper. So I wonder if the pan sizes are smaller or something. I don't know. I haven't really, like Viseart hasn't caught my eye in a very long time, but that palette definitely did. So I want to talk about it, but it's going to be a pass. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention Midas Cosmetics. They reformulated and redid their, what is this, Flower Bomb palette? I don't think they really shared much about it when the Flower Bomb. If you forget, the Flower Bomb used to have like glitters in it, and I think it was bigger. But now they removed the glitters and they, I don't know, just reformulated, redid it differently. And I think this is a really pretty palette. So it's newish to the brand. Not that it's like super new because they released it before, but they took out the glitters and whatnot and, you know, made it smaller and a little bit of a different shape. So I did want to share about it if you were curious. I know for me, having the glitters in it, that always paused me from getting it, but now it doesn't have the glitters in it at all. And I think the color story is really pretty. I like that. I like that orange. Ooh, that orange with the bright blues. That's really pretty. And yeah, I think this is really pretty. And I appreciate that they took out the glitters because I think that was a complaint that I was hearing about having the glitters in there. So, you know, something different and new from the brand. And I did also want to say for this brand, they have a GoFundMe. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it linked down below. I've been meaning to share it on my socials for like ever. And I just been really bad at it, and I'm so very sorry that I haven't gotten around to it. But apparently Midas is doing a little not so great when it comes to, you know, getting through COVID and just kind of surviving as a brand. So the owner did put up a GoFundMe. So if you're at all interested, if you just want to donate, you can do it through the GoFundMe. Or she said also just, you know, supporting the brand and buying the products also will help the company and whatnot. So I'm going to leave that down below if you're at all interested to learn more about the brand. I really hope Midas Cosmetics doesn't go under. Like, that would be really sad. I feel like Midas Cosmetics is one of the first, not first indie brands, but they were one of those indie brands that were newer to the scene that I found when I was starting to get into really indie makeup. I think it was like my start when it came into getting into colors. So I really do hope Midas Cosmetics is able to get through the hardships that they're going through right now. And as I said, you know, if you're interested in learning more about the issues that they're dealing with, I'm going to leave that information down below. But yeah, that is going to do it for this week's Will I Buy It? Just kidding. I was just about to sign off and I was like, let me just check really quick. Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is finally launching something. I feel like it's been a little while, but she's dropping her holiday 2021 collection. So let's talk about it now. Let's see. We have 4 limited edition Pout Spoken shades, 4 high pigment lip lacquers, glowy winter skin with a nourishing oil primer for a dewy look. We got a face palette with 3 shades, 6 shimmery eyeshadow toppers. She's getting close to releasing palettes. She's got toppers, like eye toppers now. That's something. Available October 17th on their website. Let's take a look. It looks very pretty. She's always very blinged out with her brand and her packaging, so I would expect nothing less. This is pretty. Oh, can I zoom? Is the face palette cream? Face palette with 3, it doesn't say. The lid toppers look pretty. I'm not into the lid toppers though. It's an easy pass. That almost looks like a cream, but maybe it's a powder. It just kind of almost, I don't know. It looked cream to me. Anyway, I think packaging wise, this is nice. I wouldn't say it's like super blinged out. I feel like for Jaclyn Hill, the liquid lipsticks, those look like super blinged out, super special, very like wintry, but everything else I think just looks nice. I don't know, I guess I was expecting a little bit more. There's lip liners up here, and then the oil looks really pretty. I like that it goes from white to red. That's really pretty, but everything about this is a pass. As I said, I'm still waiting for Jaclyn Hill to launch a palette. I feel like that would be a pretty good one to go for, especially because she used to do such creative looks long time ago. But yeah, she's yet to do a palette, but we're getting closer with those eye toppers, and those look really pretty. But though, I will say, to do 6 of them, can you have done a red? Like a red like the lipstick? That would have been cool. Or a green, like Christmas green, because it's a holiday collection. I feel like, you know, especially these 2 bronzy ones, they're so close. I don't know. That's just me being nitpicky, though. At least she did a silver there. That's something different, even if it's like a taupey type of gray, but it's in there. But anyway, overall, this is going to be a very easy pass for me. All right, so now that is going to be everything. I am so glad I decided to go and just check real quick to make sure that was not new, but that is going to be everything for this week's Will I Buy talking about new makeup. A pretty chill week. Once again, I feel like it's almost like the lull before the storm. I feel like it's where we're at, because for a little while there, I feel like we were starting to see an amp up in releases, and I was just like, oh, it's because we're getting close to the holiday. It's just going to go up from here. But right now, I feel like the last 2 weeks has just been like a couple really neat releases. Not to say the brands I talked about today weren't interesting, but it's just been very chill. Like nothing to make me just run and want to grab my wallet right away and purchase it. Definitely some things that caught my interest, but overall been still easy to kind of like think through it, or just kind of wait it out, or just pass on it and focus on what I have here, which I'm okay with because I'm actually kind of getting through the big pile that I have here, and that's a good sign. So anyway, yeah, that is gonna do it for this week's Will I Buy It. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. I usually stay over here. I scooted over and totally blanked. Any late breaking news is gonna be over here now that I moved over. Once again, late breaking news are gonna be over here. Anything that launched after I recorded and before this video goes up that I want to talk about really briefly, I'm going to go ahead and mention it here just so you guys know my first initial thoughts and just get to see it in the video. And if it's something you're interested in, you can always let me know down below in the comments like, hey Katie, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Or if it's something I'm really interested in, then we'll just talk about it next week because it caught my eye and that sort of thing. But anyway, that's what's going to be over here. Can't believe I forgot to like stay scooted over. I feel like I've been typically pretty good at that. Oops. But anyway, yeah, with all of that said, hopefully there's not too much late breaking news because I'm closing it out here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I can't remember if I said, but let me know down below what products that launched this past week caught your eye. Did you pick up the Lethal collection or the Lethal palette? I'd be interested to know that. Or the Game Beauty palette. That's another, popular release that I saw coming out this week that a lot of people are excited for. I'd love to hear what you guys think of those things. And yeah, if you want to continue getting daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92 over there. And with all that said, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye guys.